From TPN at technophilespodcast.com, I'm Tony Rome, and this is Branching Dialogue.
You have your world records, but all of the guys I've ever talked to, they say the way that they break world records is because when it gets right down to it, they're always going against their own personal best. They're always going against themselves. So they need each other to kind of come up with a new strategy.
This week we talk with Andrew Hegge about his experience working at the marathon event Awesome Games Done Quick. It's time to save the frames and kill the animals because this is Branching Dialogue's 43rd episode. All right, and welcome back to the show. I'm here with my co-host, David Geisler, and special returning guest member, Andrew Hegge. How you guys doing today?
Super cool.
Who was going to talk first? Yeah. I would say I'm also super cool.
Super cool.
That's awesome. Well, we didn't just bring Andrew Hegge out here because he looks good. We brought him because, but that's another reason you're here.
That was obvious.
We switched to the more video format, so it's really important that Andrew's on the show more often.
Yeah. We've had tweets about it.
Are we still ignoring the camera?
We said that Andrew guy.
No, we don't ignore the camera now.
On this one, we talk to the camera.
This has changed.
Now it's more like kind of a YouTube focus show, so it's okay to adjust the camera.
Okay, no, so I can
yeah,
you can look like really creepy style, or like maybe a little pucker.
Get in here, like, hey guys.
Right, exactly.
Thanks for
omnipotent.
Get some dulcet in there.
No, really not getting anything from the audience today. No real reaction. It's such a cold audience. Just a camera.
Just power through it, guys. Just do your thing. Be you. The audience will respond.
Okay. All right.
So, Andrew, besides your bright smiling face, why did we bring you on today?
We're gonna talk about some AGDQ action actually that I attended and was staff for.
Awesome.
Yeah.
AGDQ, Awesome Games Done Quick. That is a speedrunning marathon for charity that is done yearly. They do Awesome Games Done Quick in the winter and Summer Games Done Quick in summer?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, summer, so was Awesome Games Done Quick the first one, and then they had to just come up with another one, so they said, let's call it Summer?
Well, yeah, kind of like Awesome Games.
Why don't you give them a little bit of history about the whole marathon?
Well, the marathon, it's essentially established by Speedruns Live and Speed Demo Archive.
Yeah.
The two groups that kind of came together, started out literally in someone's basement, hosting the event live. I think that
was
first,
like 10 years ago, what kind of thing?
Well, they've had 13 marathon events.
Okay.
At this point, that's
I believe
hard
they've been
number.
Communities for a long
They're
time.
well established
Basically
communities. Justin TV. Actually, they kind of, as Speed Demos, the group that is AGDQ now is essentially responsible for really the big push to Justin TV, and then League of Legends came later.
Cool.
And Twitch blew up, but
cool.
But it was really just the way to record their footage live, YouTube and Justin/Twitch TV later on, and that's how they kept track of their world records. Someone, I'm not sure who, actually I believe it was Mike Uyama, collectively said, hey, let's do some good with video games, hosted in their basement one fateful day, and then, 10 years later, it's raising...
One thing leads to another.
It's raising $1.3 million for cancer research. So,
amazing.
So, yeah.
I had to say, in fact, awesome. I was kind of wondering if it was Summer Games Done Quick, and they were like, oh, we got it. The next one's more awesome.
No, Awesome Games is kind of the big one.
Well, I believe the first one was Classic Games Done Quick.
Yeah. The Awesome brand is the evolution. It's its final form.
That's what people associate mostly with the speedrunning marathon as Awesome Games Done Quick. But Classic Games Done Quick was kind of like the first real big one.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah, that would be the one that was hosted in the basement. I think they raised tens of thousands of dollars. I don't know. Yeah, I know over 13 events they've got $6.7 million raised now. So.
Well, and the last four
have all broken $1 million.
Yeah, well, like the last four were the ones that I started watching on, and each one has broken $1 million. So in just the past 2 years, they've raised over probably 4.5.
I mean, that's great.
Almost $5 million.
That's cool.
Yeah, every time someone's like, "Hey, video games have never done anything good for the world," I just point at AGDQ my hobby has raised literally millions of dollars for cancer research. What has your hobby done? And
well, it's not always. I think AGDQ is always cancer, but Summer Games Done Quick last year.
Doctors Without Borders. I believe they've done
they
that.
pick different ones.
Yeah,
Médecins Sans Frontières.
Yeah. Wow.
And so it's
They
make the Canadian French. I learned in the pre-show.
And petit peu.
Oui.
And so they mostly make their money, if I understand correctly, because I'm a neophyte a little bit here with Awesome Games Done Quick. I'm aware of it. I've gone back and watched some of the YouTubes of previous years. I didn't see it this year. We were neck deep in post production for this channel. I didn't watch much. I know Jamin from Tabletop Test Shop. Hey, Andrew here was a guest on Tabletop Test Shop the other day.
How was that?
That was fantastic. 10 out of 10 would do again.
You're part of the pilot.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, I think you're episode number 2. We recorded a whole bunch in one day. So I think yours doesn't even come out for like another couple weeks. But
I'm not a patient man. I really want to see
it was
how that
amazing.
turned out.
We're definitely going to have Andrew back. I'm not even on the show, but I was there as a producer. And it was really great. It's one of our new shows on TPN this year. And it was a lot of fun. So
tons of fun.
We were talking to Jamin, and he's the host of that show, and he's really into Awesome Games Done Quick as well. At least he had a million questions for you.
Yeah. We were talking about it, what was it like to be part of that? And he really wanted to know about like the community itself because, just kind of like outside perspective, he's like, they just seem like such a great community. And they are. Like, I've been part of like competitive gaming communities in one form or another. I did a brief stint in the fighter community. I had CS:GO and Quake were CS:GO, not Go. I'm sorry, I haven't gotten
the original Counter.
Source. Sorry, no. CS Source, Quake. I've been part of those communities for a little bit. Actually, had a bit of a. I was well known in Quake for the name The Pope.
Okay.
This was before it was a big deal to use religious iconography in your name, so I was known as the Pope in the Quake circuit, and you've been killed by the Pope.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Was it lowercase the?
Yeah, it was the Pope, and I think it might have been a 0 for the O, but
sure.
So I've been a part of like various competitive things. The AGDQ, the speedrun community is a completely different animal.
Yeah.
When it gets right down to it, like the other communities, they've got that competitive sort of respect each other thing, but they just go to a different level with the competitiveness. They're kind of, can I say douchey?
Jerks? Oh, okay. All right.
Douchey towards each other.
It's play to win. It's competitive.
But it gets more into the must-win aspect.
Right. And people can send their hate tweets to
Mr_Meth.
And with a competitive game, it's kind of zero sum. It's like if I want to win, that means you have to lose.
Yeah, right. That's true.
Right.
Yeah. And Awesome Games Done Quick, they basically raise their money by people donating as they go. It's a reinvention of like the phone thing.
The telethon.
Right?
There's no sponsorship.
Yeah.
It's not dictated by sponsorship profits. They do get their sponsors, obviously.
But that's just to really run it.
Right. They don't actually, it's not like
that. That's cool.
It's not like they come on to the speedrun channel wearing like a NASCAR vest with all the different sponsors.
Because NASCAR gave them, whatever,
$10,000 or whatever. $bucks. Yeah. No, it's all donation based.
That's cool.
And 100% of the donations so if you call in, donate $10. That means that $10 that you gave is going directly to
it's 1-to-1, huh?
Yeah.
The Cancer
That's cool.
Foundation.
That's cool because sometimes there'll be like a
Foundation.
bad stigma where it's like 20% because we got to do the rest to run the thing. Ugh, that's cool. To hear.
I think
that's cool.
I think that's part of what makes this such a successful event is because people know that even they know their money is going to that thing, and even when you look at the community for speedrunners, they're all like the money they make a little bit off of their partnership if they hit Twitch partnership,
right?
But they're making most of their money off of donations, and when you're donating to Caleb Hart to Speedrun Mega Man, the money is going to Caleb Hart to Speedrun Mega Man.
Okay.
And it's not going to other stuff, and I think that's part of what makes that community such a good community. It's very organic. It's very ground up. Like the community is just they're also close in it. And going back to that, what I was saying about the competitive nature, like you have your world records, but all of the guys I've ever talked to, they say the way that they break world records is because when it gets right down to it, they're always going against their own personal best. They're always going against themselves. So they need each other to kind of come up with the new strategies and to help each other out. So there's that cooperative aspect. But the competitiveness, like, someone breaks your world record, you try harder and harder. Yeah. But you're really your own worst enemy.
Yeah, but it's not like, oh, screw that guy, he broke my record. It's like, wow, good job, I'm going to try and do better this time.
Well, I think that's a part of the convention of playing a video game is like, if you've broken the record, great, but now what do? You almost need someone else to break it so you can try hard. Like, you want to keep playing the game, right? Well, like, I think there's a little bit of that.
Yeah, well, definitely. You'll see, like a game will stagnate for a while. Like, for a while, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, that's one of my favorite speedruns to watch. For a while there, it stagnated because there was... Like, we're talking, like, they had that thing down to seconds, and you just hit the next best is just seconds of each other, and, like, frame to frame, screen to screen, they're just people, they know how, like, much time they can gain. They're called dem gains. They know how much they can gain with each strat, how fast each boss should take, and so, like, a game that just has essentially hit the perfect amount, like, they won't play for a while. Solved. Until someone finds some new strat or new trick. And then, like, the whole community will rush back to that game and try to, like, oh, this guy found this skip to where you don't have to fight this boss at all. And now everyone starts rushing to break world records and personal records again.
That's fantastic. Speed runs, I'm really into speed runs and stuff like that on YouTube, but the live stream is the thing that I'm still kind of new to. But I am so curious, if I may, Tony, you might know this already, but, like, so you were involved with this year's organization or event or whatever.
Yeah.
So what was going on there? What was that all about?
Well, my buddies at World 9 Gaming, my friendships go all the way back to college. So, I mean, if I want to date myself here, like 12 years back, they didn't actually have the name World 9 Gaming till about, I think, 4 years ago.
Yeah.
But we've always, in one capacity or another, been involved in, like, video game rooms for, like, No Brand Con, Geek Con, Anime Milwaukee. Yep. So we've always kind of been there. But my friend Mike Fry, El Presidente, as I call him, president of World 9 Gaming, he went out 3 years ago to AGDQ out to DC, made contacts with them, said, hey, we could
have more people.
We could do this for you. Yeah. And so, fast forward to this year. Oh, actually last year, but this year for me.
This year's event, but this it was, technically 2015 or whatever?
2015, whatever. I think. Yeah, 2015 AGDQ. 2015 is when World 9, I believe, first came on. And then we did SGDQ, and now we're back for AGDQ 2016. And this is the first AGDQ I was specifically a part of.
I see now.
So I actually got to fly out there on World 9's dime.
I saw some pretty crazy photos. Looked like you were having a good time.
Oh, a great time.
There were a few posts on Facebook.
Oh, yeah. I ended up... setting up the LAN room kind of by myself, which was like this. Like, I showed up and there's just boxes and totes everywhere.
It's like, there's a note stick to it, like "Good luck, Andrew."
Good luck, Andrew. And so, like, I went in there.
Wait, are you joking, or really was a note?
No, he was joking.
I thought you guys were.
No. We got out there. I got out there personally Friday night. The event went live on Sunday, so I was out there Friday night. Friday night, I just got out there. And then Saturday was the big setup day for World 9 and our staff. So we set up, the practice room, which we had 75 recently purchased LG CRT TVs.
Of course.
Yeah.
Recently purchased CRT TVs.
Yeah, how did you do that?
Well, so a hotel was having they were updating their TVs.
Excellent.
So World 9 swooped in and we bought 150 of them.
CRTs.
Brought 75 of them down to our buddy Bob Baumel. He is like the menial labor master.
Yeah.
He rented a Penske truck, loaded up 75 CRT TVs pretty much by himself, 2 projectors, the huge projector screens themselves that you actually see featured in the stream room.
Yeah, of course.
6 Samsung LED TVs, ton of all of our equipment. Drove 16 hours down to Washington D.C.
If I could just interject for a moment, I just want to explain why it's important that speedrunners have CRT TVs. Older consoles that don't use component or HDMI, they go in through AV or RF even. There's a lag if you go in through the other TVs, and so it's crippling to speedruns because you need frame perfect jumps, perfect audio cues, perfect visual cues. So even though CRT TVs are outdated by a decade and a half now, they're actually pretty critical to
Just speedrunning the old
any
days.
modern
Classic,
flat TV, even actually this TV
You'll get
right
the-
here has specifically I found the game mode thing, so at least it's not as good. Like a speedrunner really needs the accuracy, but even a normal like flat screen will run about a tenth of a second lag to try to take the non HD signal and like soup it up a little bit. And when you're running, let's say, an old DVD player or something, that's exactly great. You know, like you need a tenth of a second to pause or play your movie. Nobody cares, and the image is a little bit better. But if you're playing like even just Mario, like it took me like a year to even. This isn't even a fancy TV, but the one thing it has is game mode, and game mode is a special mode that I've only been able to find on Samsung TVs so far. But I think Magnavox has a version too, where they basically turn all of the, in my opinion, crap
Upscaling,
off,
Yeah,
all the
they turn off the
upscaling
upscaling.
off. The graphics go down to normal bad
what you're used
graphics,
to.
which is what I want. But there's no lag.
Right.
Yeah.
Even saying that though, there's like a frame or two lag. You know what I mean, or whatever, a couple frames, and I still feel like CRT is the only way to go.
Yeah, and I still find it amusing that at these giant speedrunning events or these giant fighting game tournaments where Melee gets run, they have to play it on a CRT TV.
Right.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Melee. I mean, guys, look at all these systems behind me. These are all active right now. Every single one of them is standard definition.
Yep.
You can't. This whole stack you couldn't play unless if you didn't have game mode, in my opinion.
We had the CRT, so we got these LGs, and we actually had to go into programmers in through the programmers remote
The debug menu.
to the debug menu to actually deal with the overscan too.
Really?
Yeah,
Tell me about
yeah,
that.
Yeah, so I mean, it really was just myself, and then Mike was the one who ended up actually cracking El Presidente. Actually, ended up cracking the conundrum. But like one night, I spent like way tired, flown out, and like just reading PDFs online, trying to figure out how to get into like the actual debug mode on the TVs, where you can actually like, you know, you can flip inputs to do different crazy stuff, and you can make the volume button be the power off button. You can do all this
Whoa.
crazy stuff.
All right.
But what we really need to do is actually like deal with the overscan and like shrink the image because you know you have pixel cutoff.
Right.
And again, with speedrunning, I know like Zelda 2 is actually like kind of a big deal
rough
because there's
one.
a lot of
Link to the Past, when they did the reverse boss order speedrun, there are like multiple pixel perfect tricks.
Yeah.
And pixel perfect jumps and
pixel perfect, like just so you can't have any
Right.
overscan or it's going to kill your run. So we had to actually go in and we got that, and then
you
75
dial it
LG
in or something.
TVs.
How do
Yeah,
you do it?
75. Well, it's just all numbers, and you just eventually what we did is we got Dragon Stark. He's a streamer. He came down, sat down with Zelda. He doesn't actually run Zelda 2, but he sat down with Zelda 2 because he knows that's the one that's like critical.
Right.
So he sat down. We got the numbers that worked. You know, for like the overscan, and then we just went through and we programmed those exact same numbers for everything.
Were
in
these
all the
flat
CRTs.
screen CRTs or were they too
believe-
little curve to them?
Ah, boy.
I guess it doesn't matter. I'm just curious now.
I think
nerd out
I
on
think
this stuff a
I
little.
think they might have been the flat. They could have been the old tube style. So.
That's cool.
But
Because then you have to deal with your warping and stuff.
yeah. Well, through there you can actually like tilt the image, like where your image like
Good,
tilts
yeah.
back, kind of like a projector. You can do all kinds of crazy stuff.
And then you take that signal, you feed it to the projectors, and that's okay if there's a little lag on the projectors.
well, we don't care. The runners
for the
aren't
people.
watching the projectors.
Exactly,
They're
exactly.
watching the CRT.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then
That sounds like that was a lot of fun.
It was a ton of like the first 3 days were a ton of work.
Yeah.
It was a lot of like hurry up and wait, like run, get this set up, wait for that guy who you've only recently met, like to come and do his thing, but he's got 3 jobs himself, and just a lot of that, and then eventually you got to the point where everything was set up, and now what World 9, what we really end up doing is we sit in the practice room pretty much the whole week, loaning out consoles, setting up TVs for people.
So
Not a
you
practice
say
thing going
practice
on.
room. This never occurred to me until you said it a few minutes ago. There's a practice room.
Yeah. Well, there's actually 2. There's a private practice room, which was kind of behind our partition, hidden off in the back, that only runners had access to, along with their couch commentary. In theory, only runners and their couch commentary. Some people got through, but they go back there if they needed quiet time to like just focus on their game. So if they had a run coming up that day or in a couple hours,
Do people typically they'll run a few times before they go?
depending on the runner,
Because you wonder if they fatigue. Is all I'm saying.
well, you get to that point where there is a diminishing returns.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys play video games, you know that. Like
Right.
if you go on, it's called tilt. We go on tilt. There's a point where you can only practice so much. Depending on the runner, though, they tend. I mean, these guys are professionals. I mean, maybe not professional in like the sense that others might think. But yes, they're professionals. This is what they do. They get paid money to do this. They hold world records in this. They know their limits.
Well, and I mean, like just like any other sport, you got to warm up.
Yeah, that's true.
The runners before they go on, they're practicing these pixel perfect jumps. They've got muscle memory, and so, but they've still got to kind of get into the zone. You can't go into it cold. You don't want to. You don't want to exercise a cold muscle.
And a lot of them you'll see actually like streaming like the week before. It'll say like practicing for AGDQ, and they'll be streaming whatever game they're practicing, even if they haven't played it in a while.
And it's funny because if you've ever watched them practice a speed run, they'll get to a trick that's particularly difficult, spend hours on that same trick.
Just do it over and over and over.
Oh, yeah,
I watch Chris M360 on Twitch a lot, and he speed runs basically 3D Mario games, and he'll often do that on Sunshine. He'll just run. There's a few spots where he'll just boom, 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 push it, and then finally do the run. But anyway, what?
Have you seen their save state cards?
Who's they?
A speedrunner save state card. So for like a Super Nintendo is like the most famous one.
Oh, interesting.
You actually load the game cartridge into the side of that, and you put the game.
And you can
state.
queue up on
a single save state
over and over and over. So that, I've never seen that.
So like
I've never observed it.
So on the SNES games, you'll see them run like one jump that they just have to get perfect, and you'll just see them like resetting that one thing. And you're like, how are they doing this? Well, they have like an actual like save state.
That's amazing.
Card
That's amazing.
Created. The thing is, like, it's actually probably about as big as the Virtual Boy. I don't know if the audience can see it.
I think the Virtual Boy's probably in the shot.
I'm kidding.
I think it's in the shot.
It's pretty sizable. It'll hold it. I was joking.
A little smaller than this.
Hyperbole. No, it just looks crazy like that because the game loads in the back.
Oh,
there,
sure.
And then it has like I think it takes 6 AA batteries, and it has like a second cord.
Would you say it's the size of a Super Game Boy?
No, bigger.
I just like pulling things out on the show. Bigger than a Super Game Boy.
Establishing the cred.
Bigger than a Game Boy player. Okay, let's just keep going.
Yeah. No, I mean, so you'll see them, and I mean, I spent a lot of time getting to know a couple runners that I had never. Like, I don't think of it as an opportunity to network, but then someone's like, oh, anytime you're just doing work and making yourself known, you're networking.
Yeah.
But like, when I'm at AGDQ, I'm very focused on like getting my job done, and so I don't like spend a lot of time like talking up like the runners and stuff. But the ones that you just kind of like naturally like end up hanging around with are some of the coolest I think relationships you build. And so like a couple of the guys like the Rixer, he does Jack and Daxter, and like he's just a cool guy. Flew over from I'm gonna mess it up, Sweden, Belgium, something like that.
Those aren't close.
I know.
It's like somewhere. It's something like not here.
Yeah.
It's in
Europe.
It's
in Europe.
I think it's in not America.
It's in Europe. No, he came in and like he actually facilitated me doing my first out of bounds trick. Like he set up the trick and he's like, "Here, hit these buttons," and like I just hit it. And I'm like, "Oh,
like where am I? I'm somewhere I'm not supposed to be."
I felt like a wizard, and I just did that from like oh, you guys need any help back here? While I'm setting up TVs and stuff. And he's like, "Oh, hey, come do this real quick." So it was like stuff like that was great.
So Andrew, did you get any time to watch any like full runs?
I went to exactly 3 blocks live.
Because I watched probably 16 hours of it during the week.
I'm retroactively jealous.
Good.
I mean, I guess I am just jealous, actually, but whatever. But yeah,
I got to see the Disney block live.
Yeah, I was watching that. I saw you.
Fantastic. I was actually tweeting
in the pre-show. You guys were talking about an awesome Aladdin run that happened.
Oh yeah. So
during said Disney block.
So the Disney block it was Super Star Wars, Aladdin.
They ironically started with Super Star Wars.
Super Star Wars because it's Disney now.
Disney now, but Lucasfilm made it. LucasArts, but anyway,
it was funny.
Disney killed LucasArts anyway.
They did Super Star Wars, Lion King,
yeah.
Mickey Mouse,
Capades.
No.
Mickey Mouse Capades. That was
rough.
It
ended on Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts was the last one. There was another like Super Nintendo Mickey Mouse.
Am I forgetting I'm forgetting something. But
I made the Aladdin one.
I made it there for Aladdin, Lion King, and
Aladdin and Lion King are quality games.
Yeah, well,
100%.
A lot of those the original Aladdin for SNES is basically just like Prince of Persia. Like from the same era, updated.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, I'll go with it, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, but so like the couch commentary, and I should have just brushed up on people's names. Names are like,
we'll fix it in post.
Okay, fix it in post. So like the two gentlemen doing the couch commentary for the Lion King run, had just met at AGDQ. And if you go back and you watch the VODs, the subreddit for the speedruns, go check them out sometime. Watch their run. They have amazing chemistry, and it makes that run. It just absolutely.
Which one? This is the Aladdin one?
Aladdin, yeah. It's brilliant. It's a 20-minute run, approximately 20 minutes, so it's not a high investment.
That was the nice thing about the Disney block is like all the games except Kingdom Hearts were 15 and 20 minutes, and then Kingdom Hearts is 3.5 hours.
Yeah. It was fantastic. At the end, they're reading off the script and like trading voices and like,
That's
my
good.
god.
They also did the Disney songs.
They sang Whole New World.
One of the
donation incentive for Lion King actually was to sing Hakuna Matata, and the Mexican runner who was running it, he actually like broke into singing it in Spanish and just
while he was running.
While he was running,
great.
and honestly, I think he's got a promising career in music if he ever chooses to stop speed running. It was
towards the middle end of Kingdom Hearts, they had some songs that people were donating towards. There were like 6 choices. They ended up singing 4 of them. And the couch commentary and previous runners from the Disney block came and just sang Disney songs for like 15 minutes. It was great.
That is so cool.
The top winner, I believe, was the Mulan song, Make a Man Out of You. And then Gaston, I remember, was done really well.
Song.
That's cool.
Yeah, I've got a rant separate for that, but that's for another time.
My favorite run that I saw on AGDQ 2016 was definitely Pokemon Yellow Glitchless.
I didn't catch that one live.
So normally first generation Pokemon is like 20 minutes because you glitch it and like you just you break the game to rewrite the code as you're playing it, and then like, oh, you're in the Hall of Fame. But this is great because
it's pretty glitchable. Is that what you're saying in the beginning?
So bad.
Yeah. Okay.
So bad.
Got it.
Yeah, you can glitch the game to get into like the rewrite the code of the game.
Yeah.
But it's great. They like the runner is like explaining the fast strategies because you can't really run in Pokemon Yellow.
Right.
So you have to optimize your movement and take these little tricks like standing behind Professor Oak so your rival walks fewer tiles because he walks at like a quarter of the speed you do. But they go and catch a Nidoran, and that's their Pokemon for the rest of the game.
They don't even bother.
Yep.
Because you just got to go.
Because it's got a unique set of qualities.
It's good enough, huh?
Yeah, where it's like it's got a diverse moveset, and it evolves early, and you can evolve it into a 3rd stage Pokemon extremely early. And it's also got a fighting type move for Brock because Pikachu... I don't know if you realize this, is really bad at fighting Brock.
Because you have Pikachu the whole time in Yellow, don't you?
Yeah, except in this run where they immediately deposit Pikachu after they catch Nidoran.
That's so funny.
You stay there.
That's
great. You're great. You're great. You stay
having
there.
Pikachu out slows the game down because he's another sprite.
The math of...
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Well, no, my favorite block was the PlayStation platformer. Block, which is
Jack and Daxter,
Spyro Dragon.
I watched most of that.
Which was phenomenal.
Excellent.
But Jack and Daxter, the Rickster ended up doing that one. Zem, I believe it's Zem. He did Ratchet and Clank 2.
Was Crash Bandicoot on that one too? Or was that
Crash Bandicoot was there too. Or it could. Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like my formative years, the block, because that's really where I truly like. I've always played video games, but when I became a video gamer, it was like the PlayStation and the Super Nintendo. It was in that overlap between the SNES and the PlayStation.
Yep.
That right there was like that was my childhood. They did, of all the Final Fantasies they ran 4 as well, which is the all-time underrated Final Fantasy.
That was the finale, wasn't it?
Yeah, the finale was Final Fantasy 4.
Yep, yeah, I watched that one.
It was actually a really entertaining race. Again, couch though, like couch commentary really
good stuff.
Carries like a long race like that.
Amazing.
David, do you have any favorite speedruns?
No, nothing like this. Nothing like this. I mean, I really enjoy watching the F-Zero GX speedrun. I think that might have been an AGDQ a few years ago.
Yeah.
But there's a bonkers F-Zero GX run where you like clip the side of almost falling off the track and come back on and stuff, where the guy basically plays the story mode, which I can't even get past the 2nd level. And he plays it on like ultra hard or whatever.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
If you hear the comments and you listen to the donation comments and donation, like what people are saying pretty much the entire time is like, I love watching people beat the games that beat me when I was younger.
Yeah.
And so I think that's part of the draw too, is like you get to go and watch your childhood like just like in fast forward.
Yeah. Well, during one more thing.
No, I don't.
During the Lion King speedrun, I didn't never played it as a child. Well, I was like 5.
Oh, yeah, I forget.
He's so well spoken and mature.
Lion King. Hey, you remember 2 episodes ago, our Star Wars episode, when I was talking about some of the Game Boy games when they would try to be a carbon copy of the Super Nintendo one?
Yeah, the port.
The Lion King Game Boy game was fantastic.
Excellent.
But I mean, the Super NES Lion King was even better. I think the Super NES Lion King was better than the Genesis Lion King. Same game, but just the minor variations of the operating system. I prefer the Super NES. So anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. So while I'm watching the speedrun, the Mexican runner, the guy running it, is explaining like he's doing this puzzle in the first level where he's not even glitching it. He's just doing the puzzle as it's intended to be played.
Okay.
And I'm like, what is even going on here? And he's actually commenting, yeah, a 6-year-old would never figure this out. Like,
Maybe that was in like the second level where you go at you roar at the monkeys and stuff to make the different patterns. Yeah. In high school, I was like mapping that thing out on graph paper. I'm serious.
That's right. And he ended up doing the there's the elephant graveyard with the briars and thorns where it's just it's all RNG the level, and he actually got a really good pattern. And like I had like cold sweats like watching it because I remember just like getting killed because you get these really tight passages and then
or those, remember the stupid like wall climb, boom, boom, essentially wall jumps, and if you get it just wrong, boom, and you hear that stupid music, and he faints.
He made it look. I mean, that's part of it. I think like all these speedrunners make it look easy too, and it's just like. And you forget how bad it is, and then you go back and you try and play it, and you're like,
half the time the couch commentary is saying like, look, that was really cool, but that was actually really, really difficult. I can't believe he did it on the first try.
And that's great when the couch commentary, essentially like they're there to like split the jargon and give the give the hype, necessary due hype for segments and stuff.
So
like that.
it's rare that it's rare that they're playing like single life. If they die, it just adds to the time. Is that the idea?
It depends
on the game. There are percentages where it's like 0 death.
Death, yeah.
Like you have 0 deaths.
Because I wonder if you have 0 death and all of a sudden just some Simba lands on the wrong thing, just one dumb thing.
Yeah, runs over.
It's done?
Yeah.
And the whole schedule pushes forward, or do they have to kill 20 minutes?
They wouldn't do that in a marathon.
They tend to do marathon safe runs.
Yeah.
Got it.
Marathon safe runs.
Yep, I see.
With donation incentives for some stuff like that. But if they do, actually, if you saw the schedule, you'd see there's parts where it says setup time. That's code for incentive. Usually.
Either incentive or, games go over.
Games go over. They account for some like riskier runs or something like that. But the way a game even gets in, it's. I mean, this is the other part where people are like, "Oh, I want to see this game at AGDQ, and I want to see this game at AGDQ," and people get a little upset if they don't see the game they're hoping for. It all goes off what the runners submit. The runners submit it. There's a committee that approve the game.
That's cool.
Which is why I was like kind of salty that they didn't do a Star Wars block, because I thought this would be the year of all years to do Star Wars, but there just weren't the submissions for it.
Yeah.
So
Interesting.
Stryker got his Super Star Wars run.
Super Star Wars.
Yeah. Or it was a race, actually. I can't recall who else was in there.
I have Star Wars on Nintendo and Super Star Wars on Game Boy, and they are vastly different.
Yeah, they did run Super Star Wars.
I have a strange thing where I really like to compare the versions of the same game, So like if it came out as
natural.
Good. I feel much better about this. I feel much better about this. Well, anyway, I don't want to. This show's not about my Super Game Boy games. But anyway, Games Done Quick sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I'm super happy to be a part of it. We'll go for as long as they'll let me.
Yeah. And the next event that World 9 Gaming will be at, I believe we will be at,
is AMKI. Yeah, we'll be at
Milwaukee.
Anime Milwaukee. World 9 will be
That's
at
kind of coming up.
Yeah, March.
Yep, March
something.
You guys are going to be there?
Yep.
Yeah. Changing gears, but I'm hosting League of Legends for a bunch of dirty casuals.
But Andrew, we gotta talk about what's going on with that.
Yeah.
Can we come shoot for this show? Can we come shoot a video on you guys doing it?
Or
would we be in the way? Would we be in the
No, come on over.
Yeah,
we just
definitely
did for the newscast. We just did like a first robotics thing where we went and basically did like a because these shows we sit in the studio here, but now we're just starting to do this thing where we kind of do like a Mr. Rogers thing where we go and just learn about something else. Yeah. If you guys would have us for Branching Dialogue, it'll be a special episode of Branching Dialogue. That'd be amazing.
It's the weekend of March 8th, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll be
Or the
running
second, or the second.
We'll do it.
A week after that.
we
Probably.
did a 16-person team League of Legends.
You both are working it?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do the mic, but I'll
enlisted
meet
a
up with
wacky
you
team,
guys.
So that'll be good.
I'll
We
meet
have
up
a
with you
gopher.
guys there.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll
great.
talk to
Love
El
it.
Presidente.
Oh my God, I'm so excited.
Make
All
sure
right.
that can happen.
So.
Well, if people want to
Covered
find
all.
me on Twitter,
Yeah, exactly.
I can I let them know I'm David Geiser, and they can find me on Twitter at RaptorPaint, and that's good enough for now.
And Andrew, where can people find you on the internet?
Well, they can find me in a couple places. They could watch my stream where I'm actually told I should pick up I got some very good advice on the 2 games I should be speedrunning.
Oh,
Which are The Last of Us and Bloodborne. So I actually talked to the runners of those 2 games. And
that's cool.
They gave me some
And
advice.
where do you stream?
That would be Mr_Mephisto on Twitch, or you can follow me on Twitter, Mr_Meph, MEPH.
Yep. Just like that's like us here on Branching Dialogue. It's branch dialogue because branching dialogue was too long.
Yeah, Mr. Mephisto's too long, and you don't want to use up all your precious characters.
Right.
If you're
Yeah.
gonna, like talk.
We thought branch dialogue was better than branching D. I have to admit.
Okay,
seriously.
anyways. And you can find me, Tony Rome, at Blizzard Main on Twitter and on most other games, including League of Legends. That's our show for tonight, I believe. That should be... We talked to Andrew about AJDQ, and hopefully the next time you see Andrew will be...
Well, guess what? He's coming. No, he's coming back next week. We're doing
right.
puzzle. We're doing
right.
top puzzles.
That's right, I forgot.
I'm excited.
This is my first time taking the reins as a host, so forgive me.
I kind of like sitting back. I like it a
No,
lot.
it's really relaxing.
Oh, thank
That's
you.
good.
Yeah. Good. I'll see what I can do. Hopefully I didn't do
Thanks,
too badly.
pal.
Next week we'll be back with these 2 guys, and hopefully I'll be back to talk about our top
Mutiny.
puzzle games.
Puzzle games. I'm excited.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
I love it.